Okay. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Secondary Shorts, our weekly check on what we're watching and what's trending in pop culture. It's August 14th, 2020, and this is your host, Trevor. Joining me, as usual, is...
Hey, guys, it's Prague.
This is Josh.
If you're listening to this today, I'm having a baby right now. This is Delora and Wolfgang.
Oh, my God, right
Awesome.
now?
Yeah. We're
How
recording
are
this
you
early.
doing?
2 days early.
Wow.
Well,
that's
shoot,
impressive.
man. I didn't realize this was going to go up on Friday and not Thursday. So because it's going up on
Whoa.
Friday, that's when my baby's born, on the 14th. At least I
We'll
hope so,
see.
man. Oh,
Yeah.
Fingers
see.
crossed.
fingers
Yeah.
crossed it's going to be the 14th. Because I
Yeah,
don't want to
man.
spend too long in a hospital. That's weird.
No, I
It's
hear you.
weird.
This isn't
That's
the best
right.
year for hospitals.
No, it really isn't. It's a good thing San Diego's really put together nicely, and we're all good out here.
Oh, there you go.
Are you at a fancy
Good.
hospital?
Mary Birch. Wait, maybe I shouldn't say that. Wait, hold on. It doesn't matter.
Everybody's gonna go. Everybody's gonna go crowd over
Steal
there.
my baby. The dingo ate your baby.
Yeah, this isn't like
God.
the Dark Knight where the
Oh,
Joker's
man.
going to find out where you're at, which
Mhm.
hospital you're at, blow it up.
Switch the baby out. You'll have this baby with like this
Make-
big like grin on
Make
its
sure you take a permanent marker to
Right?
mark your baby when it.
At the bottom of its foot.
Yeah.
Yes.
My baby.
Put a number 2 under it. There you go.
So cool. What are you guys
What are you guys
watching?
watching other than Alex? Alex at the
let's end
hospital.
this moment.
I'm actually kind of interested in what Alex is going to be watching while he takes care of this baby, because it's going to be interesting.
Well,
having a kid
because I
crying.
know that I'm going to be man, it's funny that this is going up on the 14th, but we're recording on the 12th. So on the 12th, I've recorded the entire season 2 of Umbrella Academy, and I've recorded the entire season of I believe it's called Connected, which the trailer looked very interesting on
Yes, I've
this.
heard of
It's-
this. Okay.
Yeah, it's like this guy who goes in depth on a lot of like just science, so the science behind nukes or the science behind the
Nudes.
cloud network and stuff like that.
Noobs.
Stuff like
Stupid
that. So
noobs.
it looked really interesting. So I was like, okay, well, if I'm going to be spending the next 24, 48, 72 hours at a hospital,
Years.
I better have something to watch. So I
Nice.
just downloaded it all.
Okay.
You never know when an
Wow.
apocalypse might hit.
That's
That
You
is
could be
true.
Stuck at that
Good call.
hospital for a long time. I mean,
Mhm.
in Umbrella Academy, it's like there's an apocalypse every 10 or so days. So
Right. You could be like Rick Grimes, who like woke up in the hospital.
You
and-
woke up in a hospital. Man,
what
maybe I
happened.
should start that show over.
Yeah. there you
Walking
go.
Dead.
You don't have to,
Ooh,
but
wow.
everyone's like,
I don't know.
Mm.
Gonna torture yourself, I guess.
So those are the two things that I'm actually watching or not right now, but
you're going to, yeah.
I'm going to be watching it. Next secondary shorts, I'll be all caught up.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
How about for this shorts? Who wants to go next?
Well, I think that only Josh and I have finished season 2 of the Umbrella Academy. Is that correct, Josh?
Yeah, I
Okay.
finished it. Yeah.
So
I
I think
just
that
started
we,
it. I'm
we
2
should
episodes
do-
in.
So I can
should
spoil it
do-
for you then.
I was going to say that we should do a spoiler-free review, but since Josh wants to
Yeah.
spoil it, I'll go ahead and spoil it
No,
for you right
well,
now.
'cause
Whoa,
I
whoa,
don't wanna
whoa,
say
whoa.
anything.
Hold on.
kidding.
If you guys are going to spoil it, I'm taking off my
Only
headphones.
joking.
Yeah.
Everybody in the
Joking.
chat just like closed
I know.
Twitch.
Oh, God.
Jumped off.
No need for Baby Yoda. No need for anything. God.
If we didn't have guests with us, I might have said something, but never mind.
Right. But yeah, I think Josh and I should give our spoiler-free reviews of the series. So
Yeah,
you want to go first? Or you want me to?
You can go first, bro.
Don't go in depth,
Go in order.
man, because I'm
No,
actually
I'm not gonna
quite
go in depth.
excited.
So this is secondary shorts.
Yeah, we're gonna be quick and dirty. Here it is. I recommend it because I think it is a significant improvement over season 1. It does start off a little bit slow. I was kind of worried at first that it was going to be just a rehash of season 1, kind of the tone and feel. But the second half of the series is phenomenal. I thought I knew where it was going to go, and it didn't go in any direction I thought it was going to go. And all the characters that I didn't necessarily like the first season, I absolutely love this season. The characters I love the first season, I love even more. Their character developments are fantastic. The song choices are probably the best part of the series this season. It was fun last season, but this season they took it to a whole new level with the song choices and what they did with them. So 2 thumbs up for me. I mean, it's not like
Nice.
the greatest thing ever. It's just fun. Like, enjoy it. At least it's not as predictable as last season.
Yeah.
So there's that. How about you, Josh?
No, I agree with what you're saying, though. Just a lot of the way that they decide to approach this second season, I feel they did a good job, at least through the storytelling of slowing it down a little bit, but at the same time speeding it up to kind of get to where it needs to get to it. And it's kind of hard to say without spoiling anything.
Sure.
But like you said, though, just the development of the characters even more to understand them and seeing them even in a different light, to where you grow to appreciate the ones that you didn't like the season before. You come to like them more. And it to me, I think they did a great job with it. Of course, there are some parts of the show that I didn't really like too much, but
Yeah.
the overall aspect of it, I appreciate what they did, and I look forward to the next season.
Yeah, that's fair. There were some parts too where I was like, is this going to be like the ending of the first season again? But it
Well,
wasn't.
that's
It-
good
they
to
got over
hear
it,
that
so.
you actually looking forward to a new season, because
Yes,
I wasn't looking forward to season 2. I kind of forgot the show existed. So.
I did too. I was like, oh, that's right. It really came. That was, I guess, fun at the beginning. I don't know. So yeah, it's very different. The way this one ends is like, oh, I'm actually excited because what it does is it helps you enjoy the characters more. I think.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
by
they
what
did a
they
good
put.
job of that.
So like, okay, cool. I can actually look forward to another season because I know it's not going to be the same story, all the
Yeah.
time. It's like, oh, thank God.
Yeah.
So
Well, and I've only watched one episode so far, and even with that one episode, I'm already hooked. I love how they just kind of like just threw you into this new scenario, and the new scenario is like already super fun. So yeah, I'm really digging where this has potential of going. Even though, like I said, you guys have finished it, so you know what's coming up. But yeah, from where I'm at, I'm already loving it.
cool. All right. What about
Okay.
you, Trevor?
So again, I like to be current, and I'm not watching Umbrella Academy or anything like that. I'm watching Locke and Key, or I finished Locke and Key. It came out, I think, in January, maybe last December. Who knows? But
Yeah, sometime last year.
I do not feel bad that I waited. I only feel bad that I actually watched it, because it was like one of the biggest wasted times in my life. It was such a terrible show. There's no redeeming qualities of the show. They
That's a
have
hot take.
great source material to work from, and they don't even have to do anything. Like literally, you don't have to work. And instead, they put in work to make the source material worse, to make terrible characters, uninteresting keys, and then it somehow connects with Transformers, and that's not a good thing. Transformers, the cool thing about Transformers is that they transform. And then when you watch the movie, it just becomes BattleBots. Lock and Key, the cool thing are the keys. When we get to the battle, we won't use any of the stupid keys. Like, we have one key where you can control somebody completely. So you have this big bad guy, and you're like, oh, how about I control you to kill yourself? Done. Fight over, happy ending. Nope, we're just not going to use the key. We'll pretend we don't even know what magic keys are or anything. It's always cool.
Oh my God.
I love it. I like this hot take. My hot take is not that hot in that show, but no.
No,
Yeah,
because it got
Trevor's
to the
is a bit
point
fiery.
where it was so bad that,
passionate
like, the
about it.
last 3 episodes, I'm just laughing at all the stupid things they say. Like, it was some of the worst dialogue writing of all times. Like, they had a back-to-back of "it is what it is" and some other stupid cliches. Like, in, like, one conversation between 2 characters, they threw out, I think, 3 cliches in a row. Like, just might as well say synergy and cool workforce terms. Jesus.
There you go.
I guess
You got to laugh at how bad this is. Really, it is hilariously bad.
So watch it because it's bad and laugh at it.
I enjoy bad shows, because there's some shows that are so bad they're boring, kind of like
That
Carnival
too.
Row.
That
That was just
Oh.
boring.
I started that.
I watched 2
the first
episodes and I was done.
I watched the first episode and I was done. I was like, man, this is slow and it doesn't seem to want to go anywhere.
Yeah, Lock and Key at least was funny enough to keep me going. I'll give it that.
There you go. Yeah, I really like the keys in the show, and I'm like, why didn't they use them more? I was really confused. I was like, because that's like really the best aspect of that series are the keys.
It
And
would
the
be
keys are
like Harry
fascinating.
Potter, and it's
That's
like
it.
this whole magical world. We're not going to use our wands for any
Let's use our
magic.
fists. Yeah. No. Yeah.
Wow. Well, that seems like a lot of fun. I'm glad I didn't watch it.
Yeah, same here. Watching it.
What about you, Alex?
Yeah.
So I watched something last night that was actually super cute. It was just a fluke thing. I just saw it on Netflix and I was like, screw it, I'm going to put this on. I actually tweeted about it. So if you saw my tweet on it, then I'm going to discuss it right now again. But I watched the Speedcubers. and it's about people who do the Rubik's cubes really fast. I thought it was just adorable. And see, it's actually more about a friendship than anything. And I don't know, I just found it to be so sweet and adorable. And I don't know, it was just a feel-good movie. And I'm sitting there going, oh my God, is this going to make me cry?
Of course it is.
Are you kidding me? This is going to make me cry, dude. Just happy tears because it was just so sweet.
Is this a documentary or is this a movie?
Yeah.
Based on real life?
Sorry. Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I'm sorry. It's a documentary about the two greatest Speedcubers, Rubik's Cubers in the world. One guy lives in the United States and the other guy lives in Australia. And they go back and forth on trading world records. Who's getting the world record for each cube? Like they do 6x6s, they do 4x4s, and they go to competitions all around the world. And one of the guys has autism, and the only way that he really learned how to talk to other people and talk to and learn how to socialize with others was through a Rubik's Cube. And he became best friends with, or at first he was pretty much like not obsessed, but like he looked up to this world championship Cuber, and he ended up becoming best friends because he ended up becoming one of the greatest himself. So
are you
now
spoiling
they're
the whole
like,
story for me? Is that what you're doing right
pretty
now?
much, yeah.
Okay.
Well, it's a documentary, so it's a
I know.
story about people, man.
Right,
But
I know.
like I said,
It's like The Crown.
and
Right.
honestly, it's an easy watch. It's only 40 minutes long. It's something that you can get in, get out, and just feel good for the rest of the day.
Sounds like Searching for Bobby Fischer, but with Rubik's Cubes, I guess.
Yeah, there you go.
Cool. All right.
Except
I
short.
like it.
What's that
Okay,
on?
well, yeah.
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so since we're doing this live, I do want to just say to everybody in the text right now, Locke and Key is not horrible. I laughed probably more in that show than most comedies, but they weren't purposeful laughs, okay? Just get to the point where you watch enough shows, you know what writers are kind of flailing around doing.
Unfortunately, yeah.
Yeah. When you get to the point where you set up characters and then the characters don't do what their decisions should be, and instead their decisions are based to precede the plot, it just gets annoying, and you just have to sit back and laugh at the absurdity of everything that they're doing.
Yeah, it kind of fell apart in the last half of that season, which is unfortunate. It wasn't like it was like terrible at the start. Like
No,
it was like I could see it being like okay, but then they just went deep dive into like just like they gave up. I don't know what they did with the plot on that one. And
Josh, have you been...
It's a fun premise.
right, it's a fun premise. Yeah.
You'll have fun with it though. If you like watching shows that are like, why are they doing that? It's fun.
Like, why the heck did they make that decision? Yeah.
Yeah. Anything else, Josh, besides Umbrella Academy?
So last night I watched they did this crossover series on Netflix with Mr. Iglesias, The Big Show, Ashley Garcia, all these Netflix shows. So I decided to watch them because for me, I really liked the Mr. Iglesias show since it kind of got cut short this season. But the only issue I had with it is that I thought, well, maybe they should save it for next year because it was about the Olympics. So they talked about like if the Olympics happened in 2020.
Oh, so that's awkward.
So it's like, oh my gosh. But it was okay. I mean, I'm glad I watched it though. There's some other Netflix shows like the other two, was it Family Reunion and Ashley Garcia. I haven't seen those shows, so maybe I'll start watching those since they're kind of all in the same universe, I guess you could say. So
okay.
I guess that was a positive that I got out of that. But yeah, it was just to
Gives
me,
new things to watch.
it was just awkward. Yeah.
Cool.
Nice.
One other thing I like to mention is that I'm continuing my watch of all Disney animated movies, and I got up to Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland is surprisingly good. It holds up. It's one of my favorite Disney animated classics. I haven't seen it for a long time, but it's really good just because it, like most Disney movies, are the princess getting a prince, castle kind of thing. Alice ends up with nothing. You know, she has like a drug-induced coma dream thing, and she gets to question who she is and what that actually means, because she always answers, I'm just a little girl. every character asks her, "Who are you?" And she doesn't know how to define herself. And when you think in today's world how we're always like rushing to define ourselves, it's even more poignant, even though Alice Carroll wrote this in 1854.
Lewis Carroll.
Nice.
Yeah. Nice.
Yep.
I like that though. That's something I would do. Well, speaking of rewatching and Harry Potter, I have actually been rewatching the Harry Potter films from movie one, and that's because they're, for those of you who don't know, they are all available right now on HBO Max. So check them out. They are all in there. I'm up through 5, and I guess the next one will be 6. So rewatching, they still hold up. Great.
I like. I'm on 5. Up next will be 6.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I think that's how you count, right? Yeah, 6 comes after 5. I had to think about that for a second. But they still hold up. I watched them, quite a few times back when they first came out, but it's been a few years since I watched them. But they still hold up. They're still a lot of fun, and my favorites still seem to be my favorites, which are The Prisoner of Azkaban and The Order of the Phoenix. And I think the reason why I love those 2 films so much, and I made this connection because I watched them pretty close together, is that I just like the characters of The Orders of the Phoenix. Like, those are some of my favorite characters in the movies, like Lupin and Sirius and Tonks and all of them. So to see them come together and then to have the new kids become the new Order of the Phoenix, like Luna and Neville and Ginny. So yeah, a lot of fun. So it is on HBO Max if you want, and if you have HBO, you should subscribe. So check it out.
Cool. So are we at highlight of the week, podcast highlight of the week? Awesome. Well, this week's podcast highlight of the week is going to be going to The Basement. The Basement is a podcast that really does a deep dive in the series of Ready Player One. I love it because I love the Ready Player One books, and what it does is it goes chapter by chapter, and it goes a deep dive into all the references. They do rewatches of the movies from the references. So if they mentioned some of the weirdest, if they mention a super obscure movie, they'll go back and rewatch that movie and then talk about that movie. Like they'll reread a book if they talk about the book. It's actually a pretty cool show, and they have guests. I think they're working on getting Ernie Klein, the writer, on, but who knows? But yeah, it's a good watch, and that's my lock of the week.
Very nice.
Awesome. Good one. They have a good premise. And be sure to check out the full Nerds Unite network of podcasts that includes Geek Together, The Four Dorksmen, Nerdy Curious, STS Guys, The Average Nerd Podcast, Nerd Portraits, Talkin' Pops. And guess what? We're hosting a new virtual con. Join us starting August 28th for our Star Wars celebration alternative called Force Fiesta.
Force Fiesta. Ha ha!
Yes. May the Force be with you. This will be fun.
So I think that's everything for our secondary shorts. To everyone watching, listening, tuning in live, follow us on @Secondary Heroes everywhere. This is your host, Trevor, and we'll talk to you next time.
Prog out.
Yeah.
DeLorean Wolfgang, roll out.